Hi, I'm Marty Nemko. I've talked previously about career tips for people just starting out, um, but in this little talk, I'm going to deviate from what I did before, which is kind of giving standard list of items and suggestions. Some people, you see, learn better when the advice is embedded in a context. So I'm going to offer this composite story. Rachel graduated with a 3.2 in psychology from Median State University. She wasn't particularly interested yet in growing up and having a career in that responsibility. After all, then she wouldn't mainly be taking, that is, being taught, but mainly she'd be having to produce. So she made but a desultory job search. She answered some ads with a formulaic cover letter and resume. She posted a skeletal LinkedIn profile, and she asked her parents and her besties if they knew someone who might hire her. The best job offer that effort yielded was a part-time temp $14 an hour receptionist position at a ride-sharing company, which she turned down. So Rachel decided, although she was sick of school, to apply to master's programs in marriage and family therapy. She got accepted to two, but when she saw that their quote financial aid packages consisted mainly of large interest-bearing loan and little discount off the scary sticker price, she decided to look again for a job. This time, for fear of having to continue living with her parents or with a covey of roommates, she decided to do the job search right. She started by identifying a not too narrow or broad range of launchpad job targets. Mental health paraprofessional work, whether in the government, nonprofit, or for profit sectors. She created a solid LinkedIn profile, including a strong but not hypey headline: Aspiring mental health counselor with a good feel for helping people. She supplemented that with a summary. New psychology BA seeks to launch a career in counseling. Enjoy helping all people, but with special interest in anxiety, women, and people with eating disorders. Because she had limited work experience, she highlighted her relevant accomplishments at college, projects and papers she did for courses that were relevant to her career, having started a speakers program for the college's psychology club, and volunteering at the campus's drug crisis hotline. She included a flattering photo that was taken by her friend. She knew her pictures would look more natural than if a pro took the pictures. Knowing that even mediocre job seekers managed to gin up positive reviews, Rachel took the time to find three people who'd be effusive, and she offered them specific examples from her life for them to consider using. Rachel used LinkedIn, Indeed, and Craigslist alerts to identify and then apply for online on-target jobs using a customized letter and resume, the latter using keywords drawn from the job ad. She included the college paper that she thought would most impress the particular employer. She made a list of quality employers that employ people in her target job, even if they weren't currently advertising for one. She made a list of everyone who likes her: friends, relatives, professors, even people she hadn't spoken with for a long time, plus those tenuous LinkedIn connections. Next to each name, she decided how she'd contact them: email, text, phone, or run into them. Next to that, she wrote whether she'd pitch them or her right then, or suggest they get together, for example, for coffee, a hike, whatever. With each of those people, she would ask for feedback on her LinkedIn profile. She'd also ask if they knew anyone who works at her target employers who could open a door for her, plus suggestions for anyone else she should speak with. When a networking contact said, as usually was the case, that she couldn't think of any leads, Rachel asked the person if he or she would keep her ears open. Nearly everyone agreed, so she had thus recruited a team of scouts. While the odds of someone having a lead for her at a given moment was small, the chances were much better that over a month, someone on her team would come up with something. Like many people who'd rather work than schmooze, Rachel's network was skimpy, so she expanded it, mainly by attending psychology organizations' local meetings and trainings. There, she made the effort to reach beyond her comfort zone, to not only start conversations, but to try to deepen them. That was, of course, to try to develop meaningful job connections, but also to make friends. I wish I could tell you that all this quickly led Rachel to an awesome job. But what happened is common in reality today, even with today's unemployment rate being the lowest in 50 years. there seem to be ever fewer good jobs available because of automation, offshoring, part-timing, which enables employers to skirt the ever greater government-imposed expenses and rights for full-time workers, and the unprecedented number of college graduates, many of whom have inflated grades. There's been a lot of research that shows there's been rampant grade inflation over the recent decades, and/or graduates who have been educated to dislike employers, especially in the for-profit sector. The man. Despite conventional wisdom that networking is the best way to land a job, Rachel, like many people, got her first job by answering an ad. Networking is often more potent in obtaining higher level jobs. Using facts and anecdote, her cover letter and interview conveyed that she could do the job well and would not feel demeaned by starting at the bottom. What was the position? Substitute receptionist and intake person for a nonprofit that serves drug-addicted people. Rachel aspires to make that a launch pad. Her receptionist position allows her to interact with everyone from clients to the executive director. So she asks questions of everyone, is nice, and tries to establish friendships. She's also keeping a journal of everything psychology related that she's learning, which she plans to submit with her applications for better jobs or for graduate school. Speaking of which, she knows that if she wants to stay in psychology, she's going to need to go to graduate school if she can reasonably expect to make more than her current 23 hours a week at $16 an hour. As a career counselor who's been at it now for over 30 years, I have special sympathy for people starting out today. It is hard to land a good launchpad job. In an era in which employers can so easily and cheaply post a job ad and get dozens, if not hundreds, of applicants, it's tough for a non-star to stand out. The reality is that there is no surefire solution, but I believe your best shot is to use the methods I've just described. Anyway, I'm Marty Nemko. Thank you for watching. I welcome your thumbs up, if necessary, thumbs down, your comments, your sharing, and of course, subscribing. In any event, thanks for watching. I am Marty Nemko.